listening to Two Queers in a Truck. And I'm Billy James Gunn, and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner in crime, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jim's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is Two Queers in the Truck time with Christian and Jenny, and it is February 12th, also known as Valentine's Week, the week of love, you know, and here I am, the love doctor, taking the next calls and going to heal the relationship. Just kidding. I can't even maintain my own dating relationships, much less somebody else's. But anyway, we'll get right into it. The find out part of MAGA is happening in real time. A fool by the name of Hector Luis Valdez Cocho, Cuban MAGA activist, has been arrested by ICE this week. The karmatic shit sandwiches have begun to be served. And any person other than white men, you're not just a regular kind of idiot. You're a special kind of fucking idiot for voted for dumpster. Because this fool has this coming. I have 0.0 fucks to give for an idiot like this. That campaigned, not just voted for the fool, but campaigned for the fool. So every woman that loses her reproductive rights that voted for him, every queer that voted for him, every minority or affected group, hear me now. I have zero sympathy. For the next 4 years, I'm going to laugh my ass off at y'all. When y'all bitch and whine like a mule, but the end, you're a jackass. The other end of the jackass, not the head. You 100% deserve whatever these fools do, because we told you. We told you in real time, and you did not fucking listen. Y'all enabled this. The enablement in this country and the apathy is why Nazis came to power. Pure and simple. So enjoy it. Enjoy Guantanamo Bay, Hector Fuckface. And enjoy being sent back to Cuba that you've never lived in. But they're going to screw you over, and it's going to be bad. And when you get in Cuba, you're going to find out how bad it's going to be. And they don't care who you're voting for. They're not going to check the voter registration when they do harmful things to you, no matter what. And no matter which group I'm talking about, you know, it's just like Hitler's best friend was gay, and he ended up in the concentration camp and was killed in the concentration camp too. His own best friend. And Trump's just the same. He has zero empathy for anybody, and Musk doesn't either. Sissy SpaceX will strap you to one of his rockets if it makes it into that space, which is doubtful sometimes. They blow up just like Teslas do. And so it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And I see this over and over. And we saw this in the first term when people were going, why didn't he keep any of his promises? And I'm like, he's a liar. He's a professional liar and a con man. He always has been. Just like his fake university, his scams with, you know, the Miss Universe thing, and he bankrupted a casino somehow. I mean, this guy is the consummate liar. He's the consummate con man, and so is Sissy SpaceX. They're both con men. And Musk was not an elected official of any kind, nor has he gone through congressional review. And he's changing things in the government and acquiring information about private citizens' most financial information. For what? But y'all brought this on us. This is y'all's fault. Every weak-ass Democrat that didn't stand up to this fool. Every weak-ass Democrat that goes, oh, what about Gaza? Which will be the second topic today. We'll talk about Gaza and what Trump has to say about Gaza now. And we heard all these Republicans calling Joe Biden Genocide Joe. And we're going to see, and we said he ain't going to help people in Palestine. He's not going to help them. Trump's son is Jewish, you fools. And the report with Trump and Netanyahu, or whatever, however you pronounce his name, the prime minister of Israel, I never can pronounce his name. I'll call him Nettie. I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to run every citizen of Gaza and Palestine out of there, unless you're Jewish. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be the Trail of Tears Part 2, the Middle Eastern edition. They're going to do to these people what they did to my people hundreds of years ago. You're not going. It's been a long time since we've seen an entire people being driven out of an area of the world. But we'll get to watch it on CNN and Fox as they drive millions and millions of Arabic and Islamic peoples out of Palestine and Gaza, which I told everybody. I said, if you think they're going to help the Palestinians, the Republicans give a fuck about the Palestinians, they were only playing to liberal spheres. For some odd reason, we had amnesia the first 4 years of Trump. You remember all the times he helped Arab Americans? Remember that? I don't either, because it never happened. What made y'all think he would give a fuck? He may want to put a strip mall and some casinos in Palestine, but he's going to pave paradise and put up a parking lot. Just like the song goes, Trump's the agent of chaos. He doesn't give a shit. He's wondering about what waterfront property and all the oil and gas reserves that he can get his dirty little dick beaters on. And his greasy little son-in-law, and everybody else that's involved with those clown shows. $1 trillion cachet. And Trump and the Israelis are going to divide up the Gaza for themselves. It's over for Palestinians, as we know, right? Done. Stick a fork in it. The United States was the one voice of reason. And it was not a good one. We don't have a great track record, but we have better than most. But those days are over because y'all elected a tyrant. So thoughts and prayers to the Palestinians. And another edition of I Fucking Told You So. Because, I mean, he's shown such an affinity for racial minorities and affected groups, like that Mexican judge moved on her like a bitch. I mean, just look at his fucking history. How he talks about people. Did you not see this coming? I think it's hilarious. I think people are acting shocked at this. I'm like, who's going to be shocked when eggs are $30 a dozen? you chuckle fucks. Everybody that voted for him and everybody that stayed home that was a coward that didn't vote for Harris but voted for Biden, fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Go fuck yourselves, you cowards. You got it coming. You got it coming. The shit sandwich of bad decisions and the find out part is going to be served up. And it's the only part that I'm going to laugh at. I'm going to laugh about every white liberal that flailed around like an impotent jerk about Biden. Genocide Joe. Heard that for a fucking year. Genocide Joe. He's such a horrible person. Okay. When Trump remodels Gaza and turns it into his own amusement park, and there isn't an Arabic person in sight of any kind, and they're scattered amongst the earth, we're going to laugh about it. And I'm going to literally laugh because the Palestinians don't have it coming, but every Palestinian American and every white person that flailed around, railed on Joe Biden, this is what you wanted. This is what you got. What did you think was going to happen? And we're up against our first break, and we'll be right back with some more Two Queers in the Truck right after this message. Hey, everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in the Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye-bye. Happy Pride. Hey, y'all, this is Jenny with Two Queers in the Truck, and Christian's along with me. And we're just having fun, and we're looking forward to the 2025 season, and super excited. We have some neat things going on in our whole family of shows, including Coffee and Pan Dulce, and many new shows that are brewing. Get it. And we are excited for 2025 and all the chicanery and other things that comes with it. So happy New Year, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo. As always, thank you all for listening, but most of all, it's Black History Month. It's February. And I really implore you to support the nonprofits and local businesses owned by Black entrepreneurs. Backbone of our economy, small business in America, especially local businesses you should support, but especially this month, go seek out Black entrepreneurs, small business people, Black professionals, that sort of thing, and just, I don't know, make an extra effort. Instead of clicking on Amazon, just go by that local shop, check out their websites, and really be involved with your neighbors. If we don't take care of our neighbors can't take care of us. So, important reminder, love you all, and celebrate Black History Month with us here. Hey, let's celebrate Black History Month in February together. We're stronger together. Bye,
Happy
y'all.
Black History Month, y'all.
But surprise, surprise, surprise. And by the way, Trump just signed an executive order to ban transgender athletes from the NAACP. And a friendly reminder, there's 500,000 college athletes in this country between all the divisions and all that. 500,000, 500,000 student athletes in the NAACP system. There's less than 10 transgender athletes that currently participate in the sports. He banned 10 people out of 500,000. It's not about the bathrooms or the drinking fountains. It never was. It's about targeting people, creating fights, creating distractions as they round up Cuban Americans, send them to Guantanamo Bay, took away all reproductive rights from cisgendered women. And I'm talking about IVF. I'm talking about all of it, birth control. There's going to be so much forced birth in this country. Cis women are going to turn into baby factories. They're going to take away um, the no contest divorces. They're going to keep women in marriages and be breeding stock. Doctors will be forbidden to do tubal ligations. It's all over but the crime, folks. Congratulations. If you live in a shithole red state and don't have a sane attorney general and a sane governor, you're fucked. At least to the midterms. Next 2 years, the reign of terror with this moron is going to bring it. But yeah, 500,000 NCAA athletes, less than 10 transgender athletes out of those 500,000. But yes, it's unfair to women. Of course, you're assuming that every one of the transgender athletes that's trans is a woman, a trans woman. That's a big assumption because it's not true. There's so many non-binary AFABs, which is assigned female at birth, that present trans masc, that compete as a male against other males, that want to compete with other males. In fact, a lot of them are in collegiate wrestling, believe it or not. One of the most famous ones was Mac from Texas that won 2 girls wrestling state titles because Texas refused to let him wrestle boys. But it's about the bathrooms, about the safety of girls, right? Because I'm such a terror to other women. I'm like Godzilla, and I just go trampling through Target dressing rooms and bathrooms and all that because I'm so fucking scary with my little flowers on. If you're listening to this and you can't hear this, I'm wearing overalls with little flowers on it. I look about as harmless as a daisy. Because most trans women are. But again, we don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about the big bad trans women that take over women's sports and women's spaces because they're more entitled to exist than we are, which is the real message. So the real message to any group that they're going to target, which is pretty much everybody but white men, and the cost of goods is going to affect poor white men too. Those poor white trash families living in a single wide with 7 people living in it. If you thought cold beer and eggs was expensive before, sweet cheeks, guess what? If any of that comes from Canada or Mexico or China, you're screwed. You are screwed. You're about to see inflation and prices go up. And don't think these other countries are going to blink in the long term. We're going to get into a trade war, which is going to drive up prices. Especially China, the biggest import from America is agricultural goods. Just think about how much agricultural goods they won't buy from us, specifically cotton and the soybean. Trump bankrupted a ton of soybean farmers in 2017 when he pulled this stunt before. I think it was like 150,000 or so, actually. American soybean farmers. So my cotton friends in Texas that have cotton farms, be a good time to sell them because you ain't going to have them for very long. Either you're going to go on an auction block. Think about all the clothes manufacturing in China that's not going to buy American cotton anymore. They don't have to buy it from the United States. Cotton isn't just grown in the United States, gal. Crops are grown in other places. Russia is one of the biggest soybean exporters in the world. Guess who's going to benefit from all this shit? Countries like Russia. Our enemies, Trump's friends, Lucy Gabbard's friends, who she's on the payroll for. She's a Russian agent that just took over our intelligence or is about to. Awesome. Good job, guys. It'll blow you away about how we just throttle these institutions and how we're going to have to clean them up in 2027, 2028, and beyond. The mess, the cataclysmic mess is going to be surreal. We'll survive it in some form or fashion, but it ain't going to be pretty this time because they're hell bent on grabbing as much power for as long as they can because, Trump is a cheeseburger away from plopping over. He probably shouldn't be buying any. Well, I doubt he buys any fresh fruit like green bananas, but if he did, I mean, and who knows what President Vance will be like. But you guys are in trouble. I'll be fine because I'm going to laugh about it. I've been the downtrodden for a long time. I know how to survive in a rough world. Some of y'all don't. Some of y'all lifestyle is about to change quite a bit. And like Ron White said one time as he was getting kicked out of a bar, I don't know how many they were going to use, but I know how much it took. I wonder how many of y'all are going to be so anti-Joe Biden. Oh, he was too old. I would rather have an old, senile, drooling into a cup president than a racist, old, senile Hitler. At least Hitler, the original Hitler part one, at least he was young. He was insane, but at least he was young. I mean, we got a guy that was nodding off in the debates too. We act like he was just up and like doing push-ups and jumping jacks. This guy hasn't exercised in, I don't know, the 1980s, 1990s. His blood type's probably Rocky Road. Ice cream. And cheeseburgers. I mean, you guys, the emperor has no clothes. But yes, the price of ice. Oof. Price of cold beer. Can't put no rainbows on my cold beer. But we'll hand over the economy to Musk. We'll hand over all your financial information, which has already happened. His engineers went in and downloaded everything. Everything, y'all. He's got access to everything. And why does he need it? It's not been stated. This is what happens when you give no oversight. You don't do any resistance. And screw you to all those Senate Democrats that just sit here and are not locking things up in procedurals. That whined like a bunch of babies when Republicans did that and are sitting here with their hands in their lap going, I can't do anything. The fuck you can't. You can lock up the Senate to where not a single hearing happens. Y'all can make it so miserable, but y'all still lock in step. Go to vote. Don't do any kind of resisting. Y'all are just as responsible as the Republicans for those maps. Every senator needs to be voted out the next cycle. Not one incumbent needs to be reelected in 2026. The 33 will pick that up out right after this next break. We'll be back with some more Two Queers in the Truck. Hey y'all, thanks for listening to Two Queers in the Truck. And we do broadcast on YouTube and Facebook in a video version. And we're also on all the audio platforms out there. So your favorite way to listen to your podcast. We've been doing this for a couple years and we appreciate y'all listening. We know you have a ton of choices, even though we may be the best choice. We always appreciate our listeners and we'll try to bring you quality in the future. Thanks for listening. As always, Christian and Jenny, we're out. Thank y'all. Hey everyone. Hey, thanks for listening for Two Queers in a Truck. And got an exciting new show coming on this year for our Canis Media listeners, which is basically the Coffee and the Two Queers show. including the one you're listening right now. We have a new one called Esperaz K. And it's with our exciting young host that we've had as a guest host in the previous years, named Urente. And he's really going to talk about the focus on young Latino and Hispanic community issues and challenges that come with being young and being Hispanic in America. And honestly, there's a lot of interesting topics. And of course, he has a perspective of a Gen Z person, which is way different than Christian and I. We're on the opposite end of life. But it's fun. It's fascinating. I know he's always been a great guest. I look forward to listening to his shows in 2025, as should you. I think it's going to be a special treat. It's like the Guns and Knives shows. We have guns and we have knives. So anyway, listen to our family of shows. We start dropping on Wednesdays at about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And we keep on dropping the shows until they're all dropped like Easter eggs.
Drop.
It is weird, though, that the Easter Bunny doesn't lay eggs. But anyway, hope y'all check out Urente's new show, as many of our other great new shows in 2025, plus our old standbys. And we'll rock out 2025. Thanks for listening, as always.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo. Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching the Two Queers in the Truck Show 2025 edition. We have a new special show that is coming on as part of the Canis Media family of shows, and it's the Tony Foreman Show. And they're going to talk about a little bit different things than we typically talk about on the coffee show or the queer show that we often reference. And it's going to be a little bit more of a serious show, a little bit more of talking about very specific issues amongst Latin, Latino men and Hispanic men. Tony Foreman is an Afro-Latino. And then I'm assuming that Christian's going to be on the show as well, which is a Latino male, a Tejano. And they're going to talk about things that are probably important to their generations, to what's going on in pop culture and where they fit in the world. And I guess that's always the existential question. Why am I here? But anyway, if you want to know why you're here and you whether you fit in that demographic or not, it should be interesting. I know Tony and Christian will keep it light and funny, and probably a little bit of silliness in there too, to boot. I'm looking forward to listening to it myself and not having to actually produce a show all the time. But please tune in at 10 o'clock on Wednesday mornings when that show drops, and enjoy more shows from the Canis Media family in 2025. Thank y'all. But in this next midterms, where a third of the Senate and all the House is up, not one single incumbent should be reelected. Democrat or Republican. Clear it all out. Primary every Democrat, push every one of them out and start over. Nuke it all, let God sort it out. Because fuck the Democrat Party. You guys sat on your hands and let them tear apart Joe. After he kept 98% of his campaign promises, and fought like hell for him, in spite of his health issues. You guys abandoned him. You owe him an apology. Because now what? And this is because of how you treated him and how you talked about him. And we heard this fucking shit for over a year and a half about how he shouldn't run again. He's incompetent. He's genocide Joe. He's completely gone. So guess what the alternative was? Because we can't elect a woman. God forbid we elect a woman, an overqualified woman. Oh my gosh. We can't have a woman president. Y'all think genocide Joe is bad. You wait till you have the rule of Donnie Dumpster Fuckface for a couple years. It's almost like we forgot about 2017 to 2021. It's like we just kind of forgot about January 6th. Like we had this weird enabler amnesia all of a sudden. My God. I don't want to hear any bitching from anybody, honestly. I'm over it. I am not going to vote for any incumbents of any kind in national elections this cycle, this primary in 2026. I will vote against the sitting candidates of any race that I can vote in. Why? Because we need a clean house. As a party, we need to just clear out every national Democrat in the Senate and the House. So there's not even AOC, definitely Bernie. Bernie's part of the problem. He sat there and just didn't do shit. Which that's how he would have been president too. He just would have sat there like a big lump of shit. Bernie's a coward. AOC, coward. All the Democrats that sat in the House and the Senate that looked the other way during Joe Biden's terms for those 4 years, cowards. Absolute fucking cowards. Watched as they, nationally went after trans people for 4 years. And just let them run wild with these narratives. Baby Congresswoman Crockett from Texas, one of the few that actually said anything. But for fuck's sake, AOC got noticeably quiet in 2024. Like, fuck, I didn't even know she was still in Congress. Y'all need to stop by the hospital and get a spine donation. And I'm talking about Democrats. Republicans are going to be what Republicans are, a desperate white minority that's a bunch of dumb idiots. And it's not our job to correct them, but goddamn, we got to correct ourselves. Course correction, y'all. Fight. You fight, you win. You cower, you lose. Every single time as they roll the tanks and the fighter planes and the shipping people to Colombia and Guantanamo Bay at great expense for shock and awe. This is a blitzkrieg. They're coming at us so fast. It's causing shock. It's putting people back on their heels. But why should we be shocked? They said they were going to do it. Project 2025, folks. It's here. The shit they denied because it was so horrific that we voted against Genocide Joe and Harris. You either would have had 4 years of peace and tranquility with Harris, but y'all wanted chaos. You wanted the drama. So guess what, chicken butt? You got the full shit sandwich. And it's one of those things where you just go, do I care? No. I'm at that point. Oh, by the way, today at Safeway, 18 eggs is $14.97. And gas prices are up too. But hey, at least he took away all your civil rights. No big deal, right? Don't worry about those pesky little civil rights. You're not going to need them where you're going. It is wild to think about, but it's just like this whole water fiasco out in California where Trump's reallocated water, billions of gallons of water that never made it to LA. It's just going to evaporate in the holding reservoir because there's no connection from that reservoir to LA. Because he's going to do the performative things, and you guys are going to go, oh, look at Trump being a hero and helping California, even though they're liberal, which they act like Republicans don't live in California. And our national aid should never be based on who you vote for anyway. What a crazy idea, considering that California pays more taxes into the system federally than any other state, has the biggest economy in the United States, is one of the has the fifth largest economy in the world. Other than that, no big deal. No, I don't blame California for wanting to leave the United States. They should. They should join Canada along with Washington State and Oregon. I would. I'd probably move to California right before that happened. Because it's crazy. Who wants to be part of the United States anyway? I mean, anybody with a brain is seeing this. All my friends around the world are going, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, ain't me. I didn't vote for the idiot. I know who I voted for. I voted for Harris proudly and would do it again. We did the right thing by replacing Biden with Harris. We should have done it in 2023. We should have just had Joe retire and make her president, and she could have just ran as an incumbent, which is what I said, predicted in 2020 when he nominated her as the vice president running mate. I said, he'll step down, he'll retire in 2023, and she can run as an incumbent, and she won't have to go through a primary. And she probably would have won. But of course, Democrats are idiots. We're not as stupid as Republicans, but we're pretty damn close. Tactically, we're probably stupider. Because we did the inevitable. You have a younger vice president that's a good leader and more than qualified to be president. And because the party didn't want to rock the boat, because we knew who we were going to face up against again for the third time in a row. And then we end up doing it anyway. In this fiasco where people still thought Biden was running. Had no idea who Harris was. Because there's a lot of dumb Americans that vote Democrat too. Clearly. If 81 million voted for Biden and only 60 million voted for Harris, there's 20 million stupid Democrats out there that just sat home and said, oh, I'm too afraid to vote. Can't vote for a black woman. I'd rather vote for another white dictator. They'll take away all my rights because, the price of eggs is worth it. Oh, that's right. We don't have cheap eggs. Not even close. Higher than they've ever been in the Trump administration. Not one price has fallen. Unlike the Walmart commercials years ago where they show the prices falling off the shelves. It's not happening now. Well, that's all we have for today. And enjoy them good egg prices, cold beer, and gas prices out there, y'all. Hope it was worth it. See you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for listening to Two Queers in the Truck. As always, Christian and I appreciate y'all. And we're now on Apple. And excited to be on there. I'm a big Apple girl anyway, so we appreciate y'all listening, and congratulations to Apple for making the wise choice of putting us on the platform. And we'll talk at you next week. Happy Valentine's, y'all. See y'all.
Bye, boo.
Bye, boo.